Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video of Fox Flicks on Connie X. Today we're checking out if the original Digidestined partners fell to the darkness inside. Let's hop in and see where these majestic creatures became devastating devils. That wasn't too bad.
Another Spooktober spectacular has come to the close. I cannot believe this was the third one. And I felt what more fitting way to end the Spooktober spectacular than go back to the beginning of Digimon Adventure. We've talked a little bit about the original Digidestined on this channel and what their Digimon partners might digivolve into, but I thought as it's Spooktober and as it is almost Halloween, how about we explore what it might look like if the original Digidestined that we finally met in Digimon Tri were turned to darkness. Their hearts and the hearts of their Digimon partners resonating in cruelty to become Dark Megas.
It's Karn's Spooktober Spectacular.
Oh, the original Dark Masters. That would be like a good name for them. They are the original Digidestined and Dark Masters, yada yada yada.
What is up, digital creatures? My name is Connie X, and yeah, please subscribe. I'm just getting over this, whatever it is. It's not COVID, but it's something. Lick and subscribe, please. And yeah, I was thinking of many ways we could have ended the Spooktober Spectacular, but I figured going back to where Adventure all began felt very appropriate, and I know also a lot of you, while you love the custom art, you also get very intrigued to see how I can make existing Digimon work in new Digivolution lines or existing Digivolution lines.
Yeah.
And so with Maki's connection to the Dark Ocean and the generally tragic fates of the original Digidestined, I thought it would be interesting if they failed in their mission, and instead of becoming the Digimon Sovereigns, they Dark Digivolved instead. I see this pretty clearly as being their Mega stages, as we know for certain all of their Ultimate stages, though in a video earlier this year I did try and posit what I think the full evolution lines might be. Rear-Eyes also did a suggestion of this, and I think that is generally what Bandai wants them to be. However, Rear-Eyes canon does not necessarily equal Adventure canon, so my interpretation, Rear-Eyes' interpretation is up to you. So I would say kind of consider these all a Magidramon from Tamer's equivalent for all of these kids. If Baihumon, Ibonwumon, Zuchaomon, and Azulongmon are their good Megas, they're pure Megas, what I'm about to discuss in this video is if the darkness happened, the opposites to those Megas. And so we begin with Orochimon, who normally becomes Ibonwumon, and as a result of that, an absolute no-brainer to me is that Orochimon from Tri would Dark Digivolve to Nidhoggmon. Nidhoggmon was more recently introduced, being prominently featured in Digimon Adventure 2020, and was actually made to Digivolve from Orochimon. The sort of Shin Godzilla design is of course horrific, and Nidhogg, being an evil serpent in its mythology, matches up quite well with Ibonwumon, who is based on the Black Turtle, though of course is generally a force for good. So Nidhoggmon and Ibonwumon are both reptiles, which works nicely. Then for Triceramon, it originally became Azulongmon, almost the leader of the Sovereigns in many ways, outside of Fanglongmon, I guess. So I think an interesting connection would be to make Triceramon its pre-evolution Dark Digivolve to Dorbikmon. Azulongmon is the blue dragon of the Harmonious Ones, and Dorbikmon is the Fire Fury Red Dragon of the Big Death Stars group. Another interesting connection this then makes is that Azulongmon, resembling Raidramon in many ways, would have its dark version be a fiery red dragon, and a bipedal dragon at that, meaning that these two would act as kind of mega versions of Flamedramon and Raidramon in many ways, which is a connection I'm really happy with. And also, Azulongmon is the Azure Dragon of the East, of East Asia, and Dorbikmon, I believe, is based on the Welsh Dragon. I hear that a lot, although I don't have full confirmation of that. But whichever way you slice it, I think Dorbikmon is still more of a dragon of the West, a Western dragon style. And, you know, if it is a Welsh dragon, of course I'm gonna love it. Then for Hippogryphomon's Dark Mega, I'd like to keep the body shape of Zuchaomon, which I think is one of the bigger identifiers of it, as well as its tendency to incinerate anyone that approaches it. Who are the bad guys in this situation again? Honestly, I feel like Valdemon should probably be the Sovereign in place of Zuchaomon. Anyway, I feel like in every video where I could use Ornismon recently, I've had to not. So, yeah, Ornismon. It's a virus mega bird, and it has a similar violent streak to Zuchaomon, but even more vicious, as the reference book states its personality is ferocious, and it is said that it will frequently assault even larger Digimon. Ornismon has of course digivolved from Hippogryphamon before, so this makes perfect sense, and does have a lot of connections to Digimon like Garudamon and Phoenixmon too. So it works quite nicely if we kind of consider Zuchaomon the predecessor to Digimon like Biyomon and Hawkmon. And then is Daigo Nishijima, who has a Bearmon that becomes a Lodaleomon, and then a Baihumon. And it's pretty likely the champion would have been Grismon. Yeah, I'm choosing Kalismon. Of course I am. Now listen, you guys know that I have got a love of the V-Tamer Digimon, but I think in this situation, Kalismon is treated as a Mega Digimon, although it doesn't have a reference book listing yet, but it's generally treated as a Mega level, and it is kind of officially, unofficially part of the Bearmon line. Kalismon has Arcadimon data, sure, but outside of V-Tamer lore, I could very easily see this being, like I say, a Megidramon equivalent for Bearmon. And I think that V-Tamer connection also works quite nicely. V-Tamer Taichi predates Adventure Taichi in the same way that Daigo as a Gogglehead predates Tai as a Gogglehead. So tying in some V-Tamer love, I think specifically for Daigo would make a lot of sense. I think even considering the steel-like claws and anklets of Baihumon and translating them into the stood-up arm of Kalismon makes sense to me. Generally, probably the one that I think just makes the most sense. While we don't have as much lore for Kalismon, I think it makes sense that I picked this. And if I were to pick a different Mega, it would just be to try and be different and not one that I think would actually make the most sense. But yes, there were actually 5 original Digidestined, and one of them did not become a sovereign, and that is Maki's partner, Tapirmon, who eventually became a Megadramon. My theory remains that Maki's Tapirmon was supposed to become Fanglongmon somehow. Fanglongmon is the 5th sovereign. He is the DNA Digivolution merging Jogress, whatever you want to call it, of the rest of the sovereigns into this golden beast. And so while 4 of these Digidestined's partners became a sovereign, the fact we have a 5th feels like a bit of a weird outlier. Rearise apparently chose Machinedramon for Maki's Megadramon, and yeah, that's fine, but it doesn't really tie into the lore properly, you know? So yeah, I could see actually Machinedramon being a Dark Digivolution for Maki's Megadramon slash Tapirmon. However,
actually, I could see that kind of working out, considering that Fanglongmon is kind of more of an organic dragon, and that's on all 4s, while Machinedramon is inorganic, all machine, cold, and bipedal instead of quadrupedal. Does make sense. It doesn't look the best, but it does make sense.
Spoilers for Digimon Survive. I know, in this video of all videos. Skip to this timestamp if you don't want to be spoiled. 3, 2, 1. I feel like it would be really good to use Fanglongmon Ruin mode for Maki's Megadramon, right? A dark corrupted version of Fanglongmon. It's like Survive served it up on a plate for me. In addition to that, Maki is the one that is currently lost in the Dark Ocean, falling to ruin, if you will. And maybe in future we could just give Ruin modes to all of the Digimon sovereigns, but for now I think this makes thematic sense. If Ebonwumon, Baihumon, Azulongmon, and Zuchaomon would merge together to make Fanglongmon, perhaps Nidhoggmon, Dorbicmon, Ornismon, and Kalismon would merge together to make Fanglongmon Ruin mode in this continuity. Hell, I can even see a world where the Master from Survive factored into this somehow too. But whether you like that pick or Machinedramon, I generally think something Fanglongmon related would make sense here. So those are my picks, what I would Dark Digivolve the original Digidestined or Chosen Children from Digimon Adventure and Digimon Adventure Tri into. Let me know what you think of these picks in the comments down below. Please be respectful, your man is not feeling great.
Then again, this was kind of just meant to be the end.
Let me know your own suggestions for what those megas might be. Again, in future we could definitely follow this up with a custom art, or elaborate on it, like what if the partners from the original Digidestined, like Armor Digivolved or whatever, or something like that. I don't know, something crazy. Let me know in the comments down below. Like I said, I know people like custom art videos, but I know some people were really asking for something using existing Digimon, so I hope that satiated you, and thank you all so much for watching the Spooktober Spectacular this year. I feel like every year we have upped the ante, and I cannot wait for next year, because next year I want to bring back costumes, have a bigger set, maybe you've moved the set to somewhere else, stay tuned on that front. But my plan was to finish the last couple of Spooktober videos in costume, but your boy's sick. So thank you to my spooky sovereign.
Alright, and that is where we're going to end off today's video. So, I want you all to remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more. Down in the description will be a link to the original video, so remember to support the original creator and all they do, and we'll see all of you folks next time when we flick on. Peace out.